Hello and welcome. This is gonna be This Happened March edition, and it's gonna be all over the place, but I'm gonna stamp everything down below, so if you want to skip around you can do so. I have quite a few topics but I just wanna talk pretty much. So thank you so much if you're watching and if you're engaging in a conversation, but I can completely understand if you just skip the whole thing because you don't care. So let's start with new decks, because that's probably what most people are curious about. So before I go to the decks that I bought this month, I ordered a yes and no coin on AliExpress. To be honest, I don't know when I'm going to use it. I was thinking about using it for yes and no questions, but it's quite heavy and it's big. I mean, I know I have small hands, but still, I mean, it's big. So I have no idea how I am actually going to use it, but I want to use it because it's not bad looking. I mean, I don't know how much it focuses on the details, but there's a skeleton with a wing on the nose side. I think it's some the board kind of way. I mean, it made like the board ojiwa, I don't know how to say that. And on the yes there are two palms and there's a sun and a moon. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I mean, obviously it's not the best quality, but it wasn't expensive, and yeah, I mean, it's still divination. So if you use any kind of coin like this, please let me know how you use it, because I want to use it. And speaking of AliExpress, I also bought this dragon wing and tail ring. Well, I have small fingers as well, not just small hands. I think my ring finger is like size 5 or something, and this is the adjustable type of ring with the tail and the wing. And I was quite worried that once I push them together it will look stupid, but it's not. It's kind of looking nice. But new decks. I went through something and I bought quite a few decks this month, but it's okay. It's okay. Retail is a therapy, so it's okay. I mean, until you know that there's a reason and you work on it, I think it's okay. One of them is the Sacred Curator's Oracle. To be honest, I mean, I will upload the walkthrough soon, but I wanted this one because I couldn't get the machine spread oracle. Right now the shipping is even more, it's just, I think it's like $45 for Europe right now, so it's just too much. I mean, even the base 25 is a lot. It's almost a deck if you think about it. But I pretty much wanted something that has just simple keywords and has the same kind of color scheme going on, and that was the closest thing. It's a completely different system, so I'm not pretending that I don't want the sacred, the machine cut spread anymore, and it's quite a thin cardstock, so as you can hopefully see, it started to bend a little already, and I'm not too abusive with my decks. Look at that color. So yeah, pretty much the whole walkthrough is me going over colors, so just be mindful of that. The other one is I kind of wanted to have this, to have the collection, and it turns out that Chris Ann is coming out with a new one. I only saw the title card or what's going to be on the front. It's something with creatures in the name. But the other one that I picked up is the Muse Tarot. It is going to be used in the spring season, and this is the card that I wanted. I mean, I wanted a deck for just one card. This is very not a good idea, I can tell you that. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to read with this deck. I said it in my walkthrough that I'm not going to edge it yet, because I'm not sure I'm going to actually keep the deck, and I don't want, you know, whoever is going to get it, if I'm parting with it, to, you know, have something on it that they don't want. Because even though I watched walkthroughs, I kind of went with the Instagram feel of the deck, and on Instagram it looks amazing. And one of my friends on Insta, she pairs it with the Sacred Creators deck, and it looks amazing. So I don't know. I mean, I will give it a chance, a good chance, and then we will see. The last one was which, I mean, I think everybody pretty much picked this up. This was the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. It still lives in the big box, because I still had no chance to start to play around with it, because currently I'm going through the Ostara Tarot book, so guidebook. But this one I uploaded the flip through and the walkthrough as well, so if you're just curious about the cards, you can, you know, check that. It is a very pastel-y deck, you know, the colors are very much not on the Sacred Creators type of scale, but I love these as well. And I'm quite sure that I am going to trim the deck, because I think the white borders are really nice and it gives the cards a unified feel, but in this case I think it just makes them look too similar, and I want them to, you know, pop a bit more. And there are cards that have more color in it. For example, this one, it has a more the brownish, and the river has more colors like pink and stuff like that, but you can't really see that. And I'm hoping that the borders are just the only thing that are, you know, standing in the way. But yeah, it is a beautiful deck, but I haven't started working with it yet. To be honest, it's because I don't know how to, because I picked it up more so as a study deck than anything else. I mean, I don't want to start to use it just as an oracle, because then I don't think I'm going to take the time and actually study with it, because, you know, once you start using a deck, or maybe it's just me, I get lazy with it, so I'm not using it yet. Okay, so those were the decks. If you only wanted to see those, then thank you so much for watching. Other than that, I got a really cute and cool gift from my sister. It was a birthday gift, but since she ordered it from China, it took quite a while to arrive. My gift for her name day was, you know, delivered around the same time, and we ordered, I think I ordered it even before she did mine back in February, so it takes time, but it's fun. I mean, look at that. This is a book. This is my new favorite book. But it's not just a book, because oh, it is a lamp, and I know that it's not dark enough, but it's even changing colors, and it looks really cool. Because if you, I mean, you can, if you want to, you can, you know, you're supposed to be able to put it like this on the table, but it's not happening. Or you can just do this, because there's a magnetic closure. It's quite noisy, But I'm pretty much just happy with just opening like this and putting it down like an actual book, which I think is really cool. I mean, I spend a lot of time on AliExpress, but I haven't seen it, so it's really cool that she found it and got it for me. About books, so I wasn't reading a lot this month, mainly because I just kind of not in the mood for reading, which sometimes happen. But today I'm shooting this video on the 1st of April, and the latest Skullduggery, I never know how to say it, Skullduggery Pleasant book was delivered to my Kindle, so I'm going to read that for sure. I only read a few Agatha Raisin's book, which I'm kind of starting to get pissed off with, because I know it's an ongoing and long series, and it's, you know, I'm not expecting rocket science and wow, really, you know, surprising turn of events from something like that, but the writing got so lazy that it's starting to really bug me. I mean, I didn't even notice, because I just read them as a distraction pretty much, which is not very good, but this is what it is. That someone pointed it out, that a new character was introduced in the 18th book, for example, with parents who died in a car crash and blah blah blah, and in the next one the parents were alive, so you're like, okay, I mean, at least pay attention to your characters, please. So I don't know, it's kind of just weird that when you have something that, you know, you don't really have to put a lot of effort into writing, because all you have to do is pretty much come up with a murder in a small town, and I'm not saying that's easy, but once you have that many books, and the cases are always interesting, so I'm not complaining about that, but things like this, you know, don't get lazy with the characters and stuff. It's just, I don't know, I'm just sad that it happens. But the other one is that it's funny, but I started reading the English edition of Harry Potter, the first book, I'm gonna say January, and I'm not reading it, and I don't like it, and it's so weird. And because I really wanted to read the book in English as well, because, you know, it's my favorite series of all time, and I love the books, but it bothers me so much that it's not in Hungarian, because I'm used to names, even though not a lot of names are changed. But for example, Snape is Piton in Hungarian, and it's not a big change because both are snakes, so I'm not bothered by that. But the spells, the subjects that they study in Roxford, because that's Hogwarts in Hungarian, you know, those are just big changes. And I think what's bothering me is that I read the Hungarian edition so many times, and I'm not kidding, I read it more than 25 times, I think, by now, because I read it at least once a year since it came out, and we're in the 20th anniversary, that my mind tries to, you know, translate it back to the Hungarian version constantly, and not just translating, but comparing the two, which, you know, you can't do, because it's just too different, and jokes are not landing if you're directly translating them and stuff. And I know that, but my mind still is trying to do that, so I'm not enjoying it. So I pretty much just put it back here on the shelf, and I don't think I will ever read the books in English, which is, you know, it has to be okay, because I love the Hungarian edition. But also, can I be just a little more than usually angry with Bloomsbury? Because, okay, I haven't checked if the box is gonna be available separately, but I don't think so, because how are you gonna ship just a box that would house the house edition separately? You won't. because the mofos are announced there's gonna be the books, the house edition books are coming out in a box set with a pretty, you know, box that you can put them in. And I'm so angry because I feel like I'm getting punished for being nice and buying all those books and pre-ordering them when they were coming out, and now that all of them are released, they're like, surprise, you can get a new set with a box actually that would protect your books from dust and whatnot. And like I said, maybe the box is going to be available separately, but I don't think so. I think the option would be just to get all the books again. And hey, I don't have that much money to buy all the books again. Plus, if I buy them, what the hell am I gonna do with all the rest of them? So I have a thing about limited editions and special stuff. I kind of feel like they are just asshole-ish things to do. I mean, I'm known to have a problem with Sailor for the limited edition fountain pennings, because, and pens, to be honest, because it's just, I find it unfair that someone who doesn't have the money readily available worth less than someone who can just, you know, spend all the money, even though both of them are working for the money. So if someone doesn't have it readily available, but they decide to save it up, why is it not, why doesn't it equal to someone who can just immediately spend it? So I don't know, you know, it's just, maybe it's just my thing, but I don't like that mentality. Anyway, let's move on. So these were the books. What do I have? Okay, decks that I'm going to buy. I didn't want to buy the Supernatural Tarot deck because I was kind of feeling like it's gonna be too much of a pippish deck, but yesterday I saw Moran from Untitled Tarot doing the unboxing because he pre-ordered it because he likes the show as well, and he's much more knowledgeable about characters because I kind of forget everyone. I just remembered, you know, the last season kind of. I remember loving it, everything, but I'm like, oh yeah, he was in it too, and this happened, so you know, I can be surprised by it. And he showed the deck, and even though the minors are, most of them are pippish, some are illustrated, which I kind of find it weird, because if you had time to do a few illustrated minors, why didn't you, you know, just wait and do all of them? It kind of feels like it was a rushed thing. But it kind of looks good. It looks good enough for me to not be bothered by it. So I may or may not have pre-ordered the US version because he bought the English. I mean, he's living in England, so obviously. But that's about 1/3 more. The US version is 1/3 less than the whole of the UK version, and yeah, money matters, so I'm gonna wait for a month to the inside edition to be released, and then we can even compare, you know, if there's a difference between the two. I mean, there shouldn't be, but who knows. Also, this reminds me that, yeah, I should have said it in the decks, but there is a French edition for the Light Seers Tarot, and I never wanted to buy a French anything. I'm sorry. I know French is supposed to be the language of love and everything. I think that's Spanish. I love Spanish much more. But there is a French edition of the Light Seers Tarot with a beautiful box. I mean, the size is, I think, similar to the Heavenly Bodies, and it's the similar style. You can open it up and use it as a separate box. And I'm not gonna lie, that looks beautiful, and the cards are obviously the same with French titles, but I know the decks so well by now that I don't think that would bother me. But what I want to know is how different the cardstock is, because my problem with the Light Seer is that the cardstock is too rigid. or too thick, or I don't know. So I wouldn't mind a version that would be a bit more smaller, but even if not, I don't know, I'm kind of tempted by getting that version at some point, because it looks really, really nice. And I'm gonna make a note so I won't forget to link you to the to his video where he shows the where he shows the deck, because I think you should all see it, and if you can, buy it, because it kind of looks really cool. Okay, so decks. So I was very excited for the tarot bot to come, and I backed it on Kickstarter, and then I randomly, I don't believe that was, randomly, I had to be in that live stream. I clicked on a Kelly Bear live stream while I was working, because work was slow, and I was like, oh, I can participate in chat and stuff. So I was, very excited to talk to tarot people while I was working. And then I said, that, oh, I'm so excited for the tarot bot. And then someone in the comment mentioned that the creator is kind of problematic, because he was posting stuff on Twitter back then, and I think he posted, I haven't seen the old tweets, so I don't know, I can't confirm for myself that they were sexist and fatphobic and stuff, but I went and checked his Twitter, and I know that everyone is entitled to their opinion, and he is too, but his views, and these days, unfortunately, if you say that someone's political views are different from yours, it means that the core values are different, too different, to be just to be able to easily reconcile. Getting a deck from someone who, in his latest, one of his latest Twitter conversation, compared a woman to a horse. I mean, there was a conversation, I don't know the woman, maybe she's a politician, I don't know, I don't care, it's just the conversation was about her resembling a horse. And even if you think something like that, you just don't post a gif saying that all I can see is this, and then a gif of a horse. It's just so low and so pathetic, and he seems like a very angry man, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not backing that deck anymore, because every time I would have picked up the deck, I would have think about him and these things. And it's the same reason why I don't watch Tom Cruise movies anymore, because I know enough about Scientology now, because I watched the Leah Remini show, the HBO documentary, the Aaron's channel, Growing Up with Scientology. His channel is really good if you want to more about what Scientology actually is doing to people and families, because it's not something like, oh, they believe in aliens, because most of the Scientology people don't even know that they believe in aliens and stuff, because the level they are at, they are not entitled to know about those things. But Tom Cruise is on a whole different level, and allegedly, don't sue me, but what he did to his niece, whose only sin was kissing a gardener, I think that was what happened, and she was caught in security camera, and she was 14, and then he decided that she was not good enough for being in the family anymore, because that was a great sin. I don't even remember, but I know that it was ridiculous. And then he forbid his sister, the girl's mother, to stay in touch with the girl and stuff like that. So yeah, I can't watch his movies anymore. I wouldn't be able to use this deck anymore. I was very, very excited for the deck, because I think it's an amazing deck, but I just can't understand how someone who has that much anger, who has that much hate, seemingly, because he must have think differently, created something like that. But yeah, so but instead then Dustin posted a video of the new Sephiroth, I don't know if the T is silent or not, deck on his channel, and I backed that instead because it seems like a good one. For example, okay, so the illustrations are beautiful, plus it's getting made in a neighboring country, so I will get the deck early. I won't have to pay anything for more than the shipping. The shipping is reasonable, so, and it's come with a you know, a game that you can play alone, because I'm giving up on playing tarot games with other people because I don't think I have enough tarot person in my life who would play that. But yeah, I backed that one. So, and what helped me was that deck is going to come out next year, so I'm kind of trying to slow down with acquiring new decks because I want to work with the ones that I have already. So it was for me a big plus that it's not going to be released anytime soon. Okay, so tarot stuff. I was part of a live stream on Simon, the Hermit's Cave tarot channel recently, and even though I was very nervous the whole time, like seriously I was like sweating, and I don't know why I was so anxious and nervous, but I was. It was quite fun to be, you know, visible a bit more to the community, because what I want to do with this channel and going and switching topics. I watched Becca's Tarot Talk, I think that's Becca's channel's name, recently, and she was talking about what she wanted to do with the channel and what not, what she doesn't want to do with the channel. And I was thinking the same, because I started posting pick a cards and whatnot because I want to share and I want to help people, but it's, you know, it's just a substitute for a one-on-one reading. And what I wanted with this channel, why I kept with it, was making connections, and what I really want to do is talking to people. And I think that by now, because I'm posting for almost a year now, I have more than 100 followers, which is really cool. Subscribers, sorry. Maybe people will give me a chance to talk to, you know, and stuff like that. So I know I'm not making a lot of sense, but sorry about that. So I'm kind of thinking about still posting, you know, not unboxing, but, you know, walkthroughs, because that became a way to bond with the deck initially. And I want to remember what I felt about the deck first time when I work with it, and then what I, you know, how I feel about it after I work with it, because I want to share those experiences with people if they are interested, obviously. But what I will try to do, and now that I have an actual working webcam, but who knew I don't have as much of a internet connection that I thought. But now I have a webcam. I kind of want to do, not interviews because that's a big word, but I would like to have conversations around shadow work and how people use the tarot, and not just shadow work, but in regular topics as well. So I'm thinking about coming up with questions. I mean, I already have a few, and starting to reach out to people who might want to talk to me. And you know, if you're watching this and you haven't clicked away and you would like to be, you know, part of something like that, not a live stream, because I think that especially with shadowy topics, anyone should have the option to ask for something to be edited out, or not even posting the whole thing if they change their mind, because they can be very deeply personal topics if they want to go there. But if you want to be part of it, please let me know. I will start asking people, because if I don't ask, no one will say yes. So if you're watching and I haven't reached out, it's probably because I'm a chicken and I'm worried you would say no, or I don't think you would be interested. It does, like I said, it's not going to be live. It can be audio only if someone is not comfortable with their face being on YouTube. But yeah, I will start asking, and if nothing is happening with that, then nothing is happening with that. But that's what I want to do. That's what I would like this channel to be about, to having conversations. So expect some changes. I don't think I will post pick cards anytime soon. I will have the April challenge, because I think that's a very good one, related to self-improvement. Those are short daily videos and general readings, but other than that, I will just post this one and my deck organization video, which I'm gonna shoot soon, and yeah, just walkthroughs and 6 month in videos. So we will see, because it's fun to have, unboxing and stuff like that, but I'm not in a position to buy all the new decks, and I'm not a name that anybody knows in publishing or anywhere, so I'm not getting decks sent to either. So I can't pretend to be a channel who's all about, I have the latest new deck, because I don't, and that should be enough. But I still like to share what I have and what I think about them, because I think it's interesting. For me it's interesting, so maybe it's interesting for someone else. But that's for the channel in the future. We will see. Okay, so I'm still not going to stop, because I still have stuff that I watched. What I watched this month, I watched I'm not gonna even pretend to be able to pronounce. I wanted to say it in Hungarian. In Hungarian it's Iceland, so what is it? Iceland. Oh geez, why was it so hard? Yeah, the Icelandic volcano eruption. I don't know if anyone else is checking up on the volcano daily, but I'm pretty much doing that. And I checked the Wikipedia, and it's supposed to be a shield volcano, which means that the eruption can last for years, which I find it really fascinating. And honestly, I'm so glad that we're living at the time and age when you can watch a volcano erupt live, sitting in your own home. I think that's just mind-blowingly awesome, and I think it looks so amazing. And if it actually lasts for years, I might even have a chance to go and visit. Who the hell knows? I mean, I would. So yeah, that's something that I keep watching. Other than that, I think the third season of The American Gods was amazing. I love that show. Visually, the title song and title credit, or whatever it's called, it's one of my favorites. I never skip it, and I love how the story is going and changing, and I'm very excited for the next one. But I'm going to rewatch the whole series, because like I said, I just love it. So if you don't like it, it's okay. That's one of my favorites, and I was very excited for the third season. And it's already gone, and it's already over, and I'm sad. But there's a new show. If you like sci-fi, check out Debris, because they are playing with new ideas around what would happen if an alien ship would got wrecked on Earth. Because I haven't seen this idea that the different particles or parts of the ship causes different reactions in the area that they fall, so they can go a lot of places with this idea. So I'm quite happy with the first season so far. There were only a few episodes, but you can pretty much tell after like 2 episodes if you're gonna like something or not, I think. And I'm very much enjoying that so far. So that was what I was watching in March. The most exciting is still the volcano. Okay, so and other than that, no, I didn't finish. What I watched is Demi Lovato's Dancing with the Devil documentary. It's not finished yet. There were three episodes released so far, but I find that very insightful and very interesting, and I'm kind of sad that it's behind this YouTube subscription, because I think that a lot of people, the more people will see something like this, the more people will benefit from it, because I never dealt with addiction like she did, and so understanding a little more what it means to be in a situation like hers, and I'm not talking about the fame, the money, not it's about the addiction and what brings into your life, can be, I think, an experience where you will still feel that the person who's dealing with the addiction is still a human being. Because when I grew up, not 100 years ago, someone who was addicted, you pretty much cut them off because you couldn't deal with them. And this documentary shows the family and friends side as well, and I think that's very insightful as well, because the more we know about how these things happen, how these things how should I say that, what I want to say, how these things, and not just the addiction, but what causes the addiction, affects someone's life, the more openly we can talk about something, I think that would help. And I think that's what I wanted to say. But what I wanted to say, that it was interesting to see that she's talking about spirituality as well, and I'm not surprised by that. I went through something traumatic, and I find the light at the end of it. And I think, she believed in God before she said it, but she has a completely different relationship with whatever she calls God right now. And I find it very cute that she posted an extra video where she shows her chakra healing bowls, and because she's doing that sound bath and aligning her chakras every morning, I think that's what she said. But she posted these extra videos when the first 2 episodes premiered, and one of them had a moment, and I never thought that I would connect to someone like her, because her life is just so different than mine. But she was talking about her relationship being over, and how sad she was. And she mentioned, no, I'm not laughing at that, it's just that she mentioned that, oh, it's the full moon, and before she continued saying what she wanted to say, my mind was already like, oh, full moon, all the spiritual stuff that comes from with the full moon. And then she mentioned in the next sentence was like, oh, but I'm gonna put up my crystals to charge, and I don't even know if she said anything about doing a ritual or anything, but it was suggested, so it was like such a fun moment in a very sad video, that I was like, oh, you too, so yeah, it was fun. And I was like, oh, what kind of crystals do you have? And in the chakra realigning whatever video, she has those crystals over there as well. So yeah, that was interesting. So yeah, that's what I was watching. I think I finished with that. Other than that, what happened is I got my, there's only 3 things that I want to talk, and I'm gonna finish. But I got my DNA result back from the 23. Oh, there's a bird. A 23andMe site, and I'm 100% European. And I know I shouldn't be you know, disappointed. But one of my friends was like, oh, nothing special. And I was like, yeah, nothing really. Because, okay, there's something special. There's, okay, where's the, oh, come on now, go away. I mean, go back. I clicked on something I shouldn't have clicked. So where's the ancestry composition? So like I said, I'm 100% European, and I'm not surprisingly 50% Eastern European, but my ancestry has bigger percentage from Poland than from Hungary, which I find funny. But I have a 1.1% Italian, and I think that's surprising and that's funny, because I wasn't expecting anything like that. I was expecting the Jewish, which is 2.3% Ashkenazi, that's how you say it? Ashkenazi, I think. Jewish, which is not surprising again, because we knew we had Jewish. And we have French and German, mostly from Germany, yeah, so I don't know why it's French, because it's German. So I have 28% Germanic ancestry. And I'm assuming that the Jewish, because I checked on Wikipedia, because I didn't know what Ashkenazi meant, especially because the last part sounds like something that I shouldn't be, you know, but I mean, I can read, so whatever. Let's forget this. But there's, so they are coming from Germany, that's the German Jewish, if I understand correctly. So I'm not surprised that they are German, you know. But I haven't seen anything from Asia, which I'm kind of surprised, because we have a little Asian eye. I mean, of course, when you look at me, I don't have, you know, you would say that what a freaking fuck are you talking about? You don't have Asian eyes. I don't have Asian eyes, but if you look at my inner corner, this part is like Asian, you know, it's kind of start like how the Asian eyelid starts, which all I can get is I don't have a visible inner tear duct part of my eye. So when there are makeup tutorials like, you know, put something in your inner ear tear duct, whatever that part, I'm like, I can't, because it's covered. So that's all I get from that. One of my sister's eye is more visibly Asian type, Asian lid type, so I don't know where that's coming from. I'm assuming it's the Jewish, because on Wikipedia, and yeah, I know how Wikipedia is, how unreliable it can be, but on Wikipedia it said that the Ashkenazi Jewish people lived in Asia as well, so maybe that's where it's coming from. I don't know. There's the 5.3% broadly European. It can be that part. But yeah, I'm European. Yay! No Scottish. I'm kind of sad. I was hoping that why I felt, you know, really connected to Scotland is because maybe I had some minuscule of Scottish in me, but I guess I have to get that in some different way. Okay, I'm gonna stop. So yeah, that was my big DNA report. I haven't found a close relative, which I was kind of hoping as well, but it's funny because I found a third cousin in the US, and that was like not even 1%, you know, closeness. I don't remember how the other, I'm gonna say the exact number because it's ridiculous. It's a 0.88% shared DNA, which is like nothing. But it's funny because that small part, even that small part is enough for us to have great grandparents living in the same place. So I mean, I know that's how it works, but I kind of find that funny how much more people I'm related to in a small scale than I ever thought about it, because I have more than 1,500 relatives, but you know, they are all just small ones. Like there are a lot of 0.38 and stuff like that. But maybe, you know, maybe one day someone will upload a result and I can find some close relatives, because why not? It's kind of interesting. Okay, I hope my mic wasn't annoying for the whole 44 minutes. So yeah, that was my DNA. If you have a DNA, you know, report made and you have a video and I haven't seen it, please link it down below, because I'm, you know, I like all this stuff. Okay, so I don't want to talk about that anymore, because who cares? But I'm okay, yeah, I want to talk about it. So I don't know if you know it, but I made a zombie oracle last Halloween season. This is the back, and I printed it at home, and the only problem is, okay, not the only problem, but the problem is that the paint is coming off and I couldn't align it correctly, so there are some backs that are not where they're supposed to be. But other than that, I think it turns out quite nicely, and I was quite happy with the cards that I made. For example, where is the? This is my favorite one. I'm keeping this design for the new one because I'm redesigning it to be completely royalty free, because the font wasn't and some images wasn't royalty free, because I will try to sell the deck. I mean, if no, you know, publishing house wants it, obviously, then I will just upload it to make playing cards. And because I don't think that anybody, I mean, I haven't seen a zombie related oracle for Halloween season, and I have the zombie tarot, so I wanted something that matches it. And I don't know why I said it so weirdly. And this is the clarity card, and I liked the way that it looked, you know, the moon giving you the option to walk through the dark forest and seeing if something is moving, so you know it's more safe like that than without the moon, obviously, because light would attract zombies, so you can't really use light when you're moving in the dark. But I redesigned the one, and I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see it. And I know that it kind of looks like it has all these sparkling magical fireflies or whatever. I really like the way it looks. Okay, so first of all, I really like how it turned out, but those fiery particles are actual fires, you know, that come from a forest fire, because sometimes you have to try to get rid of zombies like that. So yeah, I'm redesigning some cards. Some cards I'm not happy with. The new one, I like the old one, but I have a hard time replicating the new one. And where is the company? I can't find the company. I don't really like how I'm with the company right now, so that's gonna be a card that needs more working, but I'm kind of having fun with redesigning the zombie oracle, so hopefully it will be something that will be available for anyone who's interested in getting a zombie oracle, because I like creating oracle decks, I kind of realized. And the last thing, why is it in my throat so much? I bought a new jigsaw puzzle, and if you like jigsaw puzzles, you can look at it and not look at me. It was on sale, and it's I think a street of Paris or something like that, because I got the, I think it's the Bizarre bookstore, that's what it's called. Yeah, I think that's, or something similar to that, for my birthday, and that was a lot of fun. So I was looking for something with those detailed pictures, and the company that I work for had a sale and free shipping for Easter, so I was like, I'm getting one. And since I rearranged my desk, I will have space to to play with it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I know it's long, and if you watched it, thank you. Why did you watch it? It made no sense for you to watch something like this, because I know it's not that interesting. I don't care. It's my channel still. But yeah, these are what happened in a month, and hope it was, you know, at least a bit entertaining. If you watched something and you want to comment, please do that, because I like having, like I said, I like having conversations, and that's what I want to do. So see you later. Bye.